Well, today we're going to be looking at the Sig Sauer P226 air pistol. This is a recent addition to my little collection of air pistols. So let's take it out of the box and have a look. Before we actually talk about this air pistol, let's have a little history about the actual firearm. The P226 was first manufactured in 1984. And variants of it are still being produced today. It was adopted by many armed forces and law enforcement agencies around the world, the US Navy SEALs and the British SAS being just two of them. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that the Sig Sauer P226 was a very successful product for Sig Sauer. Now, this air pistol is a CO2 powered 177 pellet firing pistol, not BBs, this fires pellets. It's a blowback pistol, so the slide recocks the pistol every time it's fired. Now, yeah, this is a bit of a strange one, really. I did quite a bit of research online before doing this video, and there seems to be a lot of misleading information about this pistol. Some articles state that this is not a replica because it is made by Sig Sauer. Well, yeah, it's not entirely true. First, Sig actually call this pistol a replica on their website, so I think it's fair to call it a replica, because Sig call it a replica. Second, Sig manufacture weapons in America and Germany, yet this pistol is definitely made in Japan. It clearly states that on the box and on the pistol itself. So I think it would be more accurate to say that this is a replica of a Sig Sauer P226 Mark 25 made under license for Sig by a Japanese company. Okay, I've closed in on it a little bit so we can have a better look at the controls. Now, it's all metal construction, so metal slide, metal lower, apart from the grips, which are polymer. Now, looking at the controls, on the real pistol, this would be the takedown lever. Now, this is a dummy on the air pistol. This would be the decocking lever, which is again a dummy on the air pistol. And this is the safety, which is operational and also acts as a decocker on the air pistol. And this is the magazine release here. So yeah, I mean, I've looked at pictures of the real pistol, and apart from this threaded extension on the barrel, which the real pistol doesn't have, this looks very well, it looks identical to the actual pistol that it's supposed to be a replica of. So I think they've done a damn good job. Now, this is, to me, quite an interesting pistol. It's very different in design to the three other semi-auto pistols that I've got. It has an ejecting magazine. I'll just show you that. There we go. But, as you can see, this magazine does not hold the CO2 cartridge. It has two round magazines, little thin cylinders in the top and the bottom of the magazine, and that's where you insert the pellets. In fact, I've got pellets in this one at this end. Now, each one of these little round magazines holds 8 pellets, and so you fire your first 8 shots off and then flip it out, turn it around, put it back in again, and you get ready to go for another 8 shots. So it's quite a neat design. And also the other thing is, because this is just plastic, it makes spare magazines for this pistol very cheap. They're about £9 in this country. So yeah, very cheap indeed. So that is an unusual feature. Get it in the right way around, does help. So that's the magazine. And the other unusual feature is the gas cartridge. So on the back of the grip, on the wrist strap, there we go, there is a little button lever here. I'll move it across so you can see. So you push that down and the back of the grip pops out like that. Okay, and you pull it fully open, and then inside the grip there is the slot for the CO2 cartridge. So you simply put your CO2 cartridge in like that. There is a cam down here at the bottom of the strap lever, and literally this is an empty cartridge, by the way. You just close it and that pierces the cartridge, pushes it up against the valve. Really elegant and simple mechanism, and this is so discreet. You don't really notice this little button here at the back. So yeah, it's great. Right, as I said, the safety here operates as a decocker. So if we put it into fire, which is there, operate the slide, which obviously cocks the gun. If I pull the safety back down into the safe position, if you watch the hammer here, it decocks the gun. So that's also a nice feature. Unfortunately, obviously not the same as the original, which would use this button here to decock it. But yeah, it's a very, very nice pistol. So what are my thoughts on this, sort of pros and cons wise? So I'll flip it around so you can have a look at the other side. There's not an awful lot to see on the other side. It's very, 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 very plain, and that, you know, that's about it. Okay, let me close back in on it again. So, what do I think of this thing overall? Pros and cons. Well, pros, I think it is an extremely accurate replica of the Sig Sauer P226. It's got a real nice feel. It's really not. They did a real good job on the ergonomics of the grip. I've got kind of like medium-sized hands, and this thing is really comfortable to hold. It really is, and it shoots very well. I mean, as I've said before about my other replica pistols, these are not target pistols. These are not designed to be super accurate. They are simply fun replicas to do a bit of plinking with, and this thing is more than capable of that. It's got plenty of power. You know, you can punch holes through cans, no problem at all. And yeah, I really do like this pistol, as you can, you know, probably guess. That I also like these replica pistols where they're all metal construction. And this thing also, apparently, according to Sig, is almost exactly the same weight as the original P226 Firearm. So that's another thing. It's a heavy pistol. This is over 2 pounds in weight. They are heavy. But yeah, it's another thing I like about it. Things I don't like. Well, first of all, why the hell they decided to put a threaded barrel extension on this. Obviously, you can take this nut off and put a silencer on it. It's not very loud. It doesn't need a silencer. And this is cosmetically, this is the worst bit. It really detracts from its appearance, in my opinion, because the original gun doesn't have it on. Basically, that's what the original gun looks like. Okay. So there's that. What else? Let me pull back a bit. The slide is quite loose. Now, I don't know whether it's just this gun. Yeah, the slide is quite sloppy. Now, I don't know whether it's just this gun, this particular pistol, or whether they're all like it. But yeah, it is sloppy. What else? Yes, it's got a very long trigger pull. Now, I can't really say that that's a con, because I don't know whether the original one, the original Firearm, has a long trigger pull. But this is like a lot of semi-auto pistols. It's double action to single action. So normally, if you were to carry this in a holster loaded, it would be decocked. So the first time you fire it, it is double action. So when you pull the trigger back, in fact, you can see it working. When you pull the trigger back, it cocks the gun, okay, and then fires it. After that, obviously, the blowback action recocks the gun. It's just single action. But it is a very long trigger pull on this. So any of you guys out there who have actually got the real Firearm, I'd really be interested to hear if the actual Firearm has a long trigger pull on the Sig P226. But no, other than that, it's a really nice replica. I like the magazine system. Very rare to get a full blowback air pistol that uses pellets. They nearly all use BBs. This one uses pellets. That's great. And I like the gas cartridge system on this. I think this is a much better system than having the threaded grub screw in the magazines like a lot of them have. So yeah, very, very nice pistol. Right, well, let's do some shooting with it. Well, I don't think that's too shabby. Like I said, this isn't a target pistol. I got a reasonable grouping with 4 of them. The other 4 are a little bit out of line, but like I said, it's not a target pistol. The sights are not adjustable on this, and unfortunately on this particular pistol it does shoot low and to the left, so you have to compensate for that. But it's still a pretty good pistol, and as I said, once you realise that, you can compensate for it. For those who are interested, I am using QYS domed. I love these. These work in all of my air guns, and I pretty much use these in everything. So yeah. So there you go. That's the Sig Sauer P226 replica air pistol. Lots of fun. And a very, very nice pistol. Apart from the few small niggles that I mentioned earlier, it's a great pistol. Anyway, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and thanks very much for watching. Cheers.